Hello, and welcome back. 8:45 Tuesday morning. Keep on rocking in this eBay world. Keep on rocking in. Might as well just keep the music playing. This is a music-based video. A thing that's sold on eBay. Well, I really don't know quite where to start at, so saw an ad on Facebook, led me to something else, which then took me down the street to Eastlake. Bought a bunch of stuff, see the recent sourcing videos, got to listing what I believe just by eyeball, what the better of the cassette tapes were of the about 350 that need listed, but 250 or so of new ones, 43 got listed to fit up one drawer. By the time I even, well, the tape sales, all but one, all but two, but the really, really good tape sales, the price was listed. They were never put in a sale bracket. So if you follow the channel, you know that I do sale brackets. All of my items get listed in a sale bracket, 39% off, 37% off, 35, so on and so forth. Never even got listed in that, and some of these even sold within 2 minutes of listing. Yeah, that was some pretty. Let's just find out what's sold. Because I've been thinking that this is probably going to be a longer video. But I'm just going to cut to the chase. Kind of yammer as I'm at the items. So we'll start off with this. If there's a sale that happens before this video posts, it would be a $2,000 day. Never happened to me before. Even with that Lady Gaga, it still wasn't a $2,000 day because like 700 or 600 of that was paid in the extra shipping fees and bats and everything that buyer paid that went across the seas. So that even that item was 1,500. All right, so it's going to get to the more bread and butter items. Nancy Griffith, which I just listed one of her tapes, a sealed tape last night. $11. What the Right One in Blu-ray, 14. Most likely got this is either at the Habitat for Humanity down the road, or it was at Amelia's. But Amelia's isn't open anymore, and Amelia's was in Streetsboro because those are the only ones that ever really used this tape. Keeping Mum. Oh. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to do all these first, and I'm going to get into the cassette separately. Keeping Mum, 17. This X-Men complete series, and then there's a volume 3, something a little different. It's few and far between that the DC stuff, the stuff that I find, does pretty well. Forget where I got these, but it's like, they probably do pretty good together. I had them for a while, 4 or 5 months or so, but got $40. Emery, this is a CD that was recently listed, but not of the estate buy. 22. Marilyn Manson, cassette. Don't remember, maybe a month ago. So it's not of the estate buy cassettes. For the most part, all 99% of many of the cassettes that are going to be going out, because I already have more seal cassettes that I just listed yesterday than I did of all other cassettes that I had listed. And then I have a lot more to go through, which is today. But $30 for this Marilyn Manson. And someone, if you're just now tuning in, you're thinking like, man, $30 for a cassette. Yep. If you're new to reselling physical media, some things are really like, oh, wow, okay. And you even get enough of them, you're like, oh, wow, I can make a living doing it. And then when you make a living doing it and you see some of the things and you get them at a really, really stupid price, and then you find out that they're selling for a whole lot more, put the pep in your step. And so even if the cassettes, the new ones that I'm going to go over, did not sell, this item right here would have been the winner item. It's Photoshop PS5 or whatever. CS5 window upgrade. So this is just for an upgrade to whatever version 2010 you have, and then you need a whole other batch of software to upgrade that one that you have. That's this. 207. And I think I paid $5 or $6 at Savers for this. So I will go through these ones because they are the more recent. So this tape is 47. This tape is 76. And this tape is $234.56. That's what this guy bought. 50, 75, 230 something. I listed these. These are side loader. In my sourcing video, I was calling them Ampex. Ampex did have a side loader. Ampex was just a maker. And so I got the pictures, or with the pictures, my wife took pictures of all the first drawer. Listed all the pink tapes first. Some of them sold within the time I was making the listing for the third or fourth one. Up a couple minutes later, gone. And I'm really not even realizing it. All I'm doing is just researching these here. So how did I come up with 234? Now, granted, all of these prices, they were going to go on sale. So $234 would translate to, at 39% off, $140. But these are selling before, because I'll wait until I have all my listings done. Then I'll wait about 5 minutes to make sure all that information, all the listings sinks into eBay, and then I'll go into the sale page and I'll go to the 39%, I'll refreshing it, go to 39%, go in there and then click and make sure that everything that I have listed is actually showing up in there in the sales. That way I know that I can add them to it. But I wait till I'm done. And I had just started and I had 40 plus cassettes to go through. So none of them were going to be going on sale for hours. Right? But that's just how I do it. There's that one. So these ones here, it's not easy to just type in pink cassette because there's the word pink in a lot of stuff. Pink Floyd, the artist Pink, Pink Domino, not Domino. I'm something. So it took a lot of narrowing down the pink cassettes, and these are all made in the 70s. I didn't do any further research, and just like Google, because you have to narrow it down. They weren't made a lot. So we have that. We have it's a side loader, which they don't make anymore. There weren't a lot of these made. Then you have a sealed one. And you add that to the provenance of the Rolling Stones. Early Rolling Stones, right? Well, not real early because they're from the 60s. But early enough. And this one a lot of them do not have a date or a year on them. So I'm looking in Terapeak for all this side loader, Rolling Stones, side loader sales, brand new. It doesn't have to be Rolling Stones. Do bands sell with new side loader? Now, there's not a lot of them listed with the word side loader, although that's what they're called. There are, It took a little bit of extra work, but I think it paid off. So this guy here, 2, 3, it was 50, 70, so 230, 360 bucks for these three. And that is one quarter of what the other guy bought. So, with all that excitement, I'm sure you guys are thinking, it's like, but what did the other guy buy? What did he buy? And you got these. 1,200 bucks. There's $1,200 sitting in those 6 cassettes. 3 of them are the pink ones, as we can see. So the same thing applies. This was actually 1973. Same thing applies. It's a side loader. It's pink. It's Rolling Stones. Just coming up with the prices, I figure, I'm just going to list them around there. I'm not going to, well, I do individually, but these are so, people may not be buying them because they are the Rolling Stones, but they're buying them because they're a pink side loader. Rolling Stones, like a lot of these bands and albums, sealed, they sell for 80 bucks, 100 bucks. You add these little extra rarities to it. All right, so this one listed, sold within minutes, 234. Listed and sold within minutes, I guess there's quite a few Rolling Stones. 76. Rolling Stones again. Pink cassette again. So listed, sold within minutes, 234. This Grateful Dead, American Beauty. Regular black tape, listed and sold within minutes, 199. So that would have gone down to like 140. I know 199 is like 120. And that just holds that kind of, at the 120, I'd probably get the best offer for 100 bucks on it, right? Because it's a nice older sealed, it's not the pink one, but it's an older sealed American Beauty. Which I listened to that last night, and I'm kind of, maybe it's just that whole jive of music, because that one just doesn't really pop to me of what I know of some Grateful Dead and Jerry Garcia, which I never really listened to a lot of anyhow. Harvest Moon, Neil Young. I sold a side loader of one of these before, but it was open and it was like 15 bucks. This, I think, was 76 because he got these next two, this one and another one. This, well, this, Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, Pink, 1976, Atlantic Records. Listed and sold in minutes for 345. And some of the tapes that I have listed that are at the prices they are, even with them on sale. Yeah. Actually, let me just grab that. All right. That. So it's left at drawer one. In some of these that are in here, this Kate Bush, this exact, it has to be that exact tape number up there. A lot of people are selling just like reprints and duplicates of it, and they don't have that. It's difficult to to make a fake one of those and put it in a case and get the the entire cassette, everything to look exactly right, and fold seal it, Y seal it, the genuine ones. And then there's another one that's like EA. This is E4. There's another one that's like TX. The TX one can still get like 100, 150 bucks. This is the better one, and this is like 300. There have been two that have sold sealed this exact one, not the knockoff ones, for like 300 bucks. Or actually, maybe a little lower. I just bumped mine up because it's still going to be in the limelight with Stranger Things. And that's how physical media gains more of a value. And there was another, this right now. Maybe this was it. There was a beat. Oh, here it is. It's Beatles. Again, with the exact cassette number, this 4XT. There's a lot of other ones that don't match that. And I am confirming as I'm looking at listings. There might be a fluke one that's sold when it's an expensive cassette as it is, and then someone lists one because they're not paying attention to that. Whichever, they just put it up there for a real cheap price. That's not gonna completely kill the entire market. So those really don't apply. I have enough time and patience to sit here, and this cassette has sold in 3 years on Terapeak for about 500 bucks. The specific one. There's other ones that have an Apple icon right here, but this very, very exact specific one with those numbers. So it doesn't. For me, it didn't take long to really look at the determining and know the determining factors and the facets that are in items, let alone physical media items that play the most important role in something's value. Looking at specific types of cassette. I mean, some CDs, and even at that, it's like saying the artwork's different on things. That's how I'm basing things off of. They're not really common, and if they're not really common and rarer going up, and if they hold a value of like 15 bucks or more, I'm going to buy it. Why am I buying those ones? Because most of the common ones, yeah, I mean, I could pick up all kinds of common stuff. But I just have a feeling someone's going to be in there and be like, well, you don't know what to talking about. There, I explain everything I just did on some things on how, when it comes down, it's like matching the transmission and the engine to the firewall number on a car. If one of those three aren't there exactly, then that's not what it is. You have all that stuff there exactly, you're going to get that money for it. You should. There's another Eagles. That's like 60 bucks. That's a common album, common artwork. There's another one that had a different artwork or different Eagles right here. But this is the one that's worth more with this type of design that's for this Eagles right here. Now the ones are like rounded. Not heavily rounded, but rounded. But that's still like 60 bucks. And a lot of these fell with the matter. I'll just put a screenshot of what I have in my store listed in the price wise for just these tapes. All right, put this back. So there's still one. So today's, you know what? So this is what I'm getting pictures of And if I really have the patience for another drawer, I'll do another drawer. This is what's going up today. Pink Floyd, these Umagumas are like $70. A whole bunch of David Bowies. There's a David Bowie in here that I have to research, but just on a cursory look was like 150. Some of these Kinks and Smiths and Cure, Sex Pistols, I really can't read these. I'm just remembering what I have up here. This is the Doors. And there might be a couple more Rolling Stones. That Beatles really one isn't worth too much. Some Jeff Beck, Fix, Joe Walsh, Humble Pie, and anything Poco, Eric Clapton, The Byrds. I think, and Supertramp. I think there was the Doors and Rolling Stones. There might be one, or a couple more of them in here. But I want to make sure that I get all those up because those ones are already listed. So that's what's going up today. Get pictures of these, 2 or 3 pictures each, and get those up. Go from there. All right. Put this back. So then there's another 1, 2, 3, and the 4th drawer has room for 5 more cassettes. That's going to keep me busy. So, that's going to wrap that one up. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, sealed, look for. Side loader, definitely look for, even if they're not sealed. Definitely if they're pink, or just different colors besides the white, black. There's kind of a brownish color out there too. It's fairly common. But anything that's really not white or black or clear. But still, if they got a barcode, scan them. If not, would you be able to figure if you just found this out on the wild on a shelf with a sealed Led Zeppelin physical graffiti and you have no idea that the pink's going to make it valuable, no idea that the side loader is going to make it valuable, would you pick it up because it's a sealed cassette of physical graffiti? Pick it up for $1 or $2? Yep. Tell me things going up. Comment down below. Subscribe, share. Those all help me, help you, so we can help other people learn about physical media, selling it on eBay. Appreciate it.